Okay, so this is kind of a little run through of what the assignment will look like for you. Granted, this one is not going to be all the way finished, but the first thing you're going to do is come up with your lyrics. Um, and so I want you to remember that for the lyrics, just use your common sense for what's appropriate, right? Like if there's a question, there's no question. I like that idea because like if you have to ask if is this appropriate, then it probably isn't. Like this is school, right? I want you guys to think if you can imagine anyone at all getting offended in any way by your lyrics, then probably don't use them. And even then, if you say, well, no, no one could, then think if this was put up in the commons, like hung up, and someone's grandma walked past it, would she be able to find some offense in it? And if that's the case, again, please don't use those. But I haven't had any issue with people choosing bad lyrics before. I don't think you guys will either. Just a reminder. So going to do that now. First thing you're going to do after your lyrics is to make a guideline template. And again, you are going to be using these overlapping guidelines that we talked about here. These here, remember, 25252, 25252, not 252 space 252. No, 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 no. X, big X, not like that. You're gonna do it like this, 25252. It um, condenses space quite a bit. Now you might run into the issue where you have an ascender and a descender in the same spot. And if you do, that's okay. Just overlap, draw over it, or move the letters around. I won't grade you down for that because I'm telling you to do it like this. And so if you run into an issue because of something I told you to do, I won't dock you points. But I didn't run into that problem for my entire uh, when I did like this rough draft that I made. So I don't think you will either. But if you happen to, that's okay. Now, after you do that, you're going to use that template. Remember, you'll have it on the side here, and you'll line it up. You use it to make these guidelines all the way across your paper. The next thing you'll do is create a box for the letter that you're going to do. It can be different sizes. It can be anywhere from maybe this size to probably this is about as big as you want to get, half the page. Um, but you need to know that your letters are going to fit, or all of your lyrics are going to fit, right? So um, before you get too far into that, you should write down one line first, um, one line of your lyrics first on a different sheet of paper to see how many letters fit here. And that's how you can determine how long your lyrics need to be because they need to fill up the whole sheet. So if you come up with lyrics, then start writing on a separate sheet of paper your lyrics to see if they'll fit. Anyhow, I'm going to imagine that you already did that and move on. So we see the first letter of my lyrics is H. So I'm going to put a giant H in this because what this illuminated letter is, it's the first letter of the text that I'm going to be writing. So I make an H, and you could do it by, I did it because I'm using a digital, I did it with a brush or a nib pen, but I actually found it more helpful to just kind of sketch it out. I looked at our guides. See, I looked at our guidelines or not our guidelines, our reference sheet, and I just kind of copied it with my pencil. So once you're done with that, then I cleaned it up. See, I made those lines a little bit nicer, cleaner. Then the next thing you're going to do is add the borders. So I'm going to add decoration in these borders here. Um, Also added borders around the H. Um, I personally thickened the borders up. You don't have to do this. This is just my style, what I chose to do. Then I added some detail to the letter itself. I added some detail inside the box as well. So you can see detail in the letter, detail in the box. And then I added some detail on the border as well. Now, granted, that is not finished, right? So this is not a finished piece. I would still need detail here. I'd need more detail here. I need this to be clarified. I don't know what exactly that is. I need more detail all around here. I don't know what that is, but this is to give you guys just a general idea. And also remember to always have, your sheet to look at. Okay, now, after you're done with that, then finally, at the end, you will write your lyrics. And then when you're done with the lyrics, you can start adding extra color if you want to get some marker or something. But the reason you write your lyrics at the end is because usually we're right-handed, and as we're doing all of this, our hand will be smushing on top of this, and we do not want to smear this. So we write our lyrics at the very end of all of it. Then you can start to add decoration, and I chose to add some little gold stuff, all of the optional pieces that we talked about, like those little dealies on the F, the little lines on the ascenders for the B and the L and stuff. I chose to make yellow, um, and you don't have to do that. That was a choice I made. And then once you're done with that, you can, after all of this ink dries, you can erase your guidelines. If your guidelines don't erase all the way, and they end up still looking like that, or even if they look like that, that's fine. But I would suggest using pencil lightly so that you can erase as much of them as possible. And that is a brief overview of what your illuminated manuscript will look like. I will show you guys more next class on how to, I don't know, kind of finalize your design there. But as for today, what I expect you to do is I expect you to just have your, let's see, where did I write exactly what it was? Yeah, I expect you to first just have your decide on your lyrics and then write out one line of lyrics, making sure that you'll be able to fit all of them. And I'll upload a video of that as well. And then you're going to make a rough draft of the illuminated letter at the beginning and the borders. So you're going to do a rough draft of this and a rough draft of this so you can kind of get an idea. And that's as far as I expect you to get today. So you can also choose what colors you're going to use, things like that. But this is just to get an overview of what the overall assignment is. And I will upload another video giving more specifics on the process of figuring out how many letters fit, as well as what I expect of the thumbnails in a little bit. Okay, excited to see these, you guys. You're awesome.